What's up, guys? Just got home, freezing today. Was up at 3 o'clock this morning to go to my one job, and then immediately when I was done with that, went to my second job. It's been negative 15 degrees for like the last week. Great news, though, personal news to me. It's good news to me. You probably don't care, but I fixed my door. One of my friends, Eric, the guy who sold me the Monte Carlo, when he sold it to me, the passenger door didn't open, and he promised, as soon as it gets warm out and stuff, we'll get on that and fix it. But anyway, I was recently talking to him, and he's like, why don't you come over to the garage? And we froze our butts off, but we just went at it until we finally realized what the problem was. And totally unrelated to this video, but that's fixed. That was good news. Why did I even bring that up? I forgot. Oh, just because it's been cold, and I froze yesterday for about 3 hours trying to figure that out with him. But anyway, I'm making a rant video because there's just something that's so annoying, and I want everyone who watches my videos to comment, chime in on this, because I think we can all agree on this one point I'm going to make. This started last night when I saw someone linked me to a video interview, a portion of the interview between Philip DeFranco, which is a huge YouTuber. If you don't know, he's got like 600,000 subscribers or something. He's one of the top 10 YouTubers, and the vice president, Joe Biden. And there was other people in the group too, but no one I recognized. So, of course, this was relating to the gun legislation and, the gun ban or possible gun ban or restriction, and the main focus, I think, on a lot of these different debates are not necessarily let's get rid of guns, because that's not the specific issues. What they're trying to attack is obviously high-capacity magazines or feeding devices. They don't want that. They don't want assault weapons. And Philip DeFranco, first of all, big credit to him. He asked some very good, straightforward questions that a lot of people who are pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment, brought up. A lot of issues. And, of course, like a great politician, Joe Biden just kind of danced around it. First of all, the first annoying part of this interview was Joe Biden is the vice president. His administration, the Obama administration, is very, very against guns. They're very for gun control. What I don't understand is someone who's in the power of the second highest rank in America, vice president, and you're so against guns. Why don't you just learn a little bit about guns? I mean, just hearing him talk, if you watch this interview, he's talking about how, he's like, we don't need Glock. Who needs a Glock for sporting? Because a Glock it can take 2, 5, 10, 15, 30 rounds, or excuse me, he said 30 clips in a round or something like that. I don't know what he was talking about. I knew what he was trying to talk about. Now, I'm not, making the statement that everyone needs to know about guns, but look at his position. If I pull someone randomly off the street and they say, oh yeah, clip instead of magazine, I don't care. They may not know anything about guns. It doesn't bother me. They're not supposed to know about guns. It's just like if I ask someone about a knife question, they're not supposed to know about knives. But this person is a very high-ranking United States official, and he's pushing very hard to get rid of guns. You think you know a little bit about it. That crap just doesn't fly any other, arena of politics. What if he's talking about like foreign affairs? And he says, the bad guys want the things that go boom. That just doesn't cut it. Why is it cut it when he's talking about guns? Why is he allowed to be so ignorant to guns but still be so against them, and everyone just agrees, or at least some people out there agree? So that's the first annoying part is, look, if you're going to be hot and heavy in a topic, at least know a little bit about it. That's annoying. The second thing he was talking about, and Philip DeFranco, again, making very good, bold statements as to these public shootings and the casualties of assault weapons, or what they're considering assault weapons, is like less than 1% of gun deaths, in public, blah, blah, blah. Really, really good information. Of course, Joe Biden just doesn't want to say, yeah, you're right. He doesn't. He's a politician. He has to fight it, and he has to dance around it. They're very good with their words. They're very good at answering a question with a question, or not answering the question at all and veering to a different topic, or a different specific detail within that main subject. And he was going on about, like, look, I'm a sporter, and I know friends who hunt, and no one needs a 30-round magazine. No one needs this. No one needs that. And he's saying, and then eventually he kind of backtracked a little bit and said, well, I'm not so concerned with assault weapons as I am with the high-capacity magazines, because you can have He's talking about the Glock and 2, 5, 10, 20, 30 rounds in a clip. And I don't, it was annoying to say the least. Okay. But what really got me is today, and I watched that interview or the portion of it that Philip DeFranco posted, and I thought, all right, whatever, it's annoying. He doesn't know what he's talking about, whatever. Today on the radio, I heard someone else who was, for this new restrictions, or the bill for these new restrictions, and they were talking about the same thing. And I hear this over and over and over again, and it's just beaten into my head. And what every person who's against guns, what their biggest argument is against high capacity magazines, is that no one needs them. Okay, and the example is always hunting and sporting. Well, for hunting and sporting, and Joe Biden, I think his exact words were, I don't know of any case. He's like, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know any case where you need, 50 rounds. And when he said that, it kind of clicked in my head. And from hearing these people saying this over and over, you don't need this, you don't need that. No, I agree with you. We don't need any of that, but we want it. Why are you going to restrict things that we want? No, no one needs a 100-round drum for their firearm. Okay, even if you're in competition shooting, which, by the way, everyone neglects to talk about competition shooting. They always focus on hunting. They're always talking about or painting the picture to America of one hunter in a tree stand somewhere with a rifle. He doesn't need 30 rounds. No, he doesn't. And in most cases, he doesn't want 30 rounds. Okay, he's a hunter. Use the appropriate tool for the job. In that case, he's using a hunting rifle. No, he doesn't need an assault rifle, although some guys hunt with their AR-15s. Whatever. The point is that they're focusing on this one thing and this one word that's really been bugging me: need. No, we don't need high-capacity magazines. We don't need assault weapons, okay? Even real ones, real assault weapons, fully automatic, or, rifles that shoot bursts of 3 or 4 rounds at a time. No, we don't need those. But why can't we have them? We want them. What's wrong with wanting something dangerous? And I was thinking about this all day, and it's just been bugging me. That's everyone's argument. We don't need it. But why are you going to restrict something that we want just because it's dangerous and just because a couple people out there don't know how to use it properly and it ends up hurting or killing people? Every single car, or excuse me, maybe not every car, let's just say 95% of all vehicles on this planet have the capability of driving 100 miles an hour. Okay? No one needs to drive 100 miles an hour on pretty much any road in the entire world. But almost every car can do that. So now we have a dangerous weapon. Okay, and yeah, a 2,000-pound vehicle or more is a very dangerous weapon going 100 miles an hour. That's something we don't need, but it's something we want. It's something, look at all the actual sports cars. Do we need a car that goes 0 to 60 miles an hour in 4 seconds? No, but we want them. They're extremely dangerous. And I can almost guarantee that there's more car-related deaths every single year from people speeding than there are victims of public shootings. So why are we not focusing on dangerous cars? That's just one example. There's a million things out there that we don't need, but we want, and they're dangerous, and other people misuse them, and people get hurt or killed from it. What is the big boner the government has with guns? I don't understand it. It's just because it's this negative thing that the media shoves down your throat. And particularly when you're in a different country and you do not have exposure to guns, you tend to take this side of, yeah, we don't need that stuff. Here's my other part of the rant, okay, is of course, everyone in America has the right to voice an opinion. That's fine. But me, as a single man, I don't have a wife, I don't have a girlfriend right now. As a single dude, how much does my opinion on abortion really matter for the country? As opposed to, say, a married couple somewhere, okay? As opposed to a single woman somewhere. Obviously, the issue of abortion, pro-choice or whatever, that's an issue that I don't have, I think, personally, as loud of a voice as women do in general. There's a bunch of different examples out there I can put forth, but that's the biggest one is, as a guy, that doesn't personally affect me. Yeah, sure, I have an opinion on the subject, but don't you think that a woman, her opinion would matter just a little bit more than my opinion? Who am I to tell women what to do with their body, affirmative action. I'm sure that, for any minorities out there, that's going to be a bigger issue. I happen to be a white man in America. Is my opinion on affirmative action more valuable or even of equal value to, say, someone who's in the position to gain from that? I don't know. As an American, sure, my opinion counts, but the point I'm trying to get to is that there's a lot of people, there's thousands and thousands of people out there that guns are not part of their life. It's not good in their life. It's not bad in their life. They have nothing to do with guns, but they're voicing their opinions as well. Now, I was thinking about this before I got into guns. If all this stuff happened back before I got into guns, I'm thinking about when I'm a teenager, 18, 19 years old. I lived in New Jersey, didn't have a gun, never saw a gun, knew nothing about them. If all this crap was going down, I kept hearing on the news, I can honestly say that I wouldn't care. I might even, without having any knowledge at all, being ignorant to guns and laws, I might even go with the idea that, yeah, you know what, we don't need those crazy guns. People are getting hurt. And really, I was thinking about that a lot today. There's a lot of people out there who are being very, very heavily influenced by anti-gun lobbyists that, and it's persuading them to that side. They know nothing about it. Of course, as a citizen, they have the right to have an opinion and voice their opinion, to be in the country and build the laws that they want as a whole. But does their opinion count as much as the person next to them has a little bit of knowledge about the subject? There's so much ignorance out there in everything. Pro-gun, anti-gun, pro-abortion, anti-abortion. It kind of stinks knowing that there's so many people out there and their opinions count. And a lot of them are stupid. And a lot of them are ignorant to what they're even arguing about. I can honestly say, before I got into guns, I didn't care about them. I didn't know anything about. I didn't care. How would you? Just like I said, if you're a single guy out there, or a teenage boy, I mean, what does the issue of abortion mean to you? A lot of you just don't care. Don't really know much about it. Don't care. Doesn't bother you. If if the government puts their 2 cents into what women should do with their body, it doesn't affect you. It doesn't affect you in the slightest. So why should your opinion count as much as some woman who's dealing with that in her actual life? It's an interesting thought. But ultimately, my biggest rant here is pertaining to all these anti-gun people who are just pushing this idea that we don't need high-capacity magazines. We don't need assault weapons, even though they're misusing that term. No, I don't need even a semi-automatic AK-47, but I want one. Who are you to not allow me to have that? Because some complete stranger had it at some point, although very rare situation, had that same gun that I want, and he did something bad with it. Why are you punishing me? Why are you punishing my neighbor? Why are you punishing my country because of the ignorance? It doesn't make any sense to me, and I think it's a very moot point, and I think it's a very stupid argument that we don't need something. No, we don't need to ban stuff just because we don't need it. What's wrong with wanting something? What's wrong with that? I don't understand it. And if that's the best argument they have, is we don't need it for hunting or sporting, well, I don't think you have much of an argument. And of course, as many people have mentioned in great videos here on YouTube, is that a lot of the anti-gun people push emotional arguments. And that's unfortunate. A lot of their argument, and a lot of their side, there's not a whole lot of facts. It's a lot of emotion. These poor families, the victims, you're talking about a very teeny portion of people. If you got every person together, I don't know what the statistic is for all the victims of public shootings, but I'll bet you anything that total number, let's make it, I'm totally guessing here, it's not a real statistic, but let's indulge a little bit and just make believe that there's, I don't know, 10,000 victims of public shootings. Probably not. It's probably well below that. 10,000 people died because of other people using guns improperly. There's millions of good gun owners out there. Why are you to punish all those people? It just doesn't make sense. People are pushing agendas because of personal gain, political personal gain. It all comes down to money and power and ignorance in most cases. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of politicians, they feel very strongly either for or against this, and it might be for the wrong reasons. But I don't know. I just want to share my 2 cents. It's just really annoying me when I keep hearing people's arguments. But I guarantee, if you've been in this situation where you're discussing something with someone who has an opposing opinion to you, at some point it came up, well, you don't really need that. Why do you need that? We don't need to justify it. We don't need to need anything. We want it. Why are you not letting us want something? Not cool. Not cool if you ask me. So, yeah, I just want to make that point. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you soon. Take care.